What's up, guys, and welcome back to Listen and Flow with Des B, a place where I'm just talking out loud and navigating life. This is episode 10, yeah.
Pluck, 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 pluck. It's a celebration.
It's a celebration. All right, so I have a special guest here today. Her name is Jalisa, aka Ja, aka Ju. So I'm gonna tell y'all a little bit about my friend Jalisa. She is amazing. Her spirit is so infectious. She's such a light to everybody she meets. Like, do you guys see her vibe? She came in with this flowy dress at my door with some tea. Like, just looked like peace arriving at my door. Like, seriously, she is amazing. And she's a certified masseuse. She's a certified, also a very, 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 very big supporter of the community, which I love. She's currently working at the St. Luke Center. Right.
St. Luke Legacy. And masseuse is derogatory. So I'm a massage therapist.
Oh, snap. Massage therapy.
Most people don't know.
Okay.
But I'm a body worker.
There you,
yes.
Okay. She be working a body. So she has a many hats and many talents. So I'm going to go ahead and let Miss Ju introduce herself and go ahead and let the people know everything you do, girl, because you got a long list. Man, I love my friends. Okay, tell us about yourself.
Stop. Okay.
Right, come a little closer.
So as you said, my name is Jalisa Monet, Ju, Love. It depends on when you met me. The name that was given, because evolution is evolution. I like to say that I am a wellness coach. I'm like a wellness warrior, but for God, right? So I align and realign body, mind, and spirit. So I went to school for massage therapy, and for the body part, for the mind, I am a trauma-informed mental health practitioner. I've been in the mental health field for 14 years. And then, of course, the spirit part is God, right? That's the evolution. In addition, I'm a mom. I am a mother, which is the most honorable title that I have.
Up here. And
I'm a
great
doula.
mom. She's amazing, dude.
Thank you.
I love DJ is amazing too,
Thank
man.
you.
I was DJ's PE teacher.
I'm a doula, so I get to see babies be born. I'm a certified herbalist. I am a certified yoga teacher. I
told you guys, she does it all.
I'm trying to think, because sometimes I forget. I'm me. I'm a child of God, so I'm capable of doing all things. So the list will only get longer. But I am a wellness warrior and a wellness practitioner, because I desire to be well, and I desire to see my people in my community to be well.
Wow.
So, yeah. Oh my! You are silly, girl.
I told you guys, like, she is amazing. Did you guys hear how much healing she has in her titles? Like, did you hear that? Like, what? So I have a question for you. So what drives you? What keeps you going?
What drives me? I'm going to say, and this probably sounds so cliche, but for where I am in my life right now, like today, I'm going to say God.
There you go.
God drives
That's not
me.
Cliche.
Yeah, that's my palette right there. Because
Yeah.
sometimes I lead myself stray, and people, anything outside of me can't really be my drive. So I'm gonna say God is definitely my drive, my motivating force. What literally wakes me up every day.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
beautiful, bro. All right, so I've got a question for you. Okay. Tell me about your background. Tell me about where you came from, like your background in religion, your background in everything, pretty much.
Okay, absolutely. So I came from Carolyn and James. That's my parents. Shout out to my parents. And I am from this small town called Nottoway, Virginia. Here in Richmond, it's like an hour, maybe like 15 minutes away. Very small town, very quaint. Everybody knows everybody. My father's whole family is still there. Most of my mother's family is in DC, but that's where I come from. And you said religion, my religious background. I was a church girl. I grew up in the church. My uncle, like I said, Nottoway is a very, very small town. Super small, like one stop, like no grocery stores. We got a Dollar General.
Oh, snap.
It's, yeah. You know, Walmart is in the next town, which is like, 15, 20 minutes. And then anything major we wanted to do, we had to come to Richmond or either go to Farmville.
Really? So y'all ain't never party in Nottoway?
Girl, what? That's what we did. What?
But y'all party? But if you had to travel like really far, like, so what did you do? Like,
so like how now at my house I create these experiences, right?
And you gotta talk about that. The people don't know about the experiences. You don't know about Juice Oasis. They don't know about Juice Oasis.
Yeah, we used to kick it and party at our house. Or we would go to the next town over, which is where my mother is from, Farmville, Prince Edward County. And it's this college there, Hampton, Sydney. And then Longwood, of course. So we would party there or either at each other's homes. We didn't spend a lot of time as kids, like out in the world, like,
Yeah.
But we would gather at each other's houses and create a good time.
Turn up.
My uncle, like I said, we were in a small town, so he had one of the only and bigger churches that is in Nottoway County. So I spent my days like 4 days a week, 3-4 days a week in a church between my parents. Like my dad was a deacon, they had us there. Sunday school, first service, second service, third service, Danville, wherever we had to travel to. Like our Sundays were completely booked. Saturdays we were typically doing stuff with the community. Wednesdays we had Bible study. Thursdays we had choir practice. Oh my gosh. So I spent a lot of time in the church. So definitely got rooted in God and religion. So yeah.
So tell me how you think that, I know you said that's kind of how you got rooted in God, but tell me how you think, I guess on a broader scale, how it kind of shaped you into like the community advocate that you are now, and like your take on the church and like religion and stuff. Like how did your growing up in that setting?
That's so interesting, like to hear the community advocate that you are, because it's just what I seen. Yeah. Right. Now at 32, I see it as like, a community mother, but that's what my mother was. Like they ran the local concession stands, the community centers, my mother was my softball coach. She was, the person
you did softball?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I played softball, track, cheerleading. Yeah. I've always been an athlete. Like I've always been active. But my parents were heavily in the community. Like my family almost ran the town, like between the church and the baseball field and, the community cookouts and things like that. Everything that you see me doing now is what my mother and my father did. So that's where it comes from. And I think that, to answer your question, you said, can you ask me the question again?
Yeah. So I was asking, like, how do you think it shaped, like, pretty much like your stances now?
Yeah. So definitely shaped it in that way where I create that. I create those spaces. But I think also just my upbringing, it was, as far as like religion, it introduced me. It was an introduction to God. Okay. Because I didn't truly get rooted in God until I developed my own intimate relationship with God.
That's beautiful.
Because like as a kid, you're taught about God. Right? You don't necessarily experience God until you go through some things. Right. So yeah, that was my introduction. But now, that's my homie. That's my daddy, my best friend, my everything. And I'm grateful for that foundation. That's what I would say. Not rooted, but that was my foundation. So yeah.
I love that you said that, because I'm learning more and more, like with talking to more people. And I knew for myself, like, it's really important to develop your own relationship with God, because you can never really like define his power to somebody until you really experience it. Like people can say, oh, not like, yeah, bro, he powerful. Like he be doing work. And you're like, all right, cool. But when you really like down bad, and it's like, that's all you have. It's like, okay. And then boom.
Even when you're up high. Like right now, you know, I'm the youth programs director for St. Luke Legacy Center.
Yes.
Like when they said the God will put you in positions that on paper you don't qualify for.
There you are working magic.
That's real.
That is so real.
It's a real thing.
And your names be in rooms that you haven't even entered yet.
Yeah.
Like,
that's
y'all
God.
hear that?
That's
like,
God. Shout out to Corinne Carter.
Oh,
yes. She mentioned your names in rooms that you have never even entered.
I was telling you, I really am excited to meet her because I think she's so cool.
She is phenomenal.
I think she's so cool, bruh. Like,
real.
I'm so excited to meet her, like, one day. Corinne, hi, I'm Destiny. I really hope that we can talk one day because I think you're cool.
She gonna laugh at this. She is gonna laugh, but nah, Corinne is an angel.
That's awesome, and that's important to connect to people who aren't afraid to lift your name up.
Because when that part,
yeah, because some people when they see your power, they like shy away from you or they become intimidated and they want to kind of like dim your light. So when you surround yourself with people who are like, nah, like, I'm gonna lift them up with me or higher
on you.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. And not afraid to lift you higher than where they may be or just higher in general if they see you like needed in a space.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I love that for
That's
you.
God. That's God. To even have that shift
of
perspective, friendship, sisterhood, right? Relationship.
Right.
Tribe to now have that is I'm grateful. And I know that again. That's God, not just in the low times, but in my absolute highest.
Right. So what do you think is the biggest lesson you've learned in this season of your life that you're in right now?
Letting go.
Ooh. How do you let go?
So I'm literally still figuring it out. No, definitely letting go. I am, you know, like you said, a community advocate, a community person, or whatever you call me or refer to me as, but I love people, right? And I love being in relationship with people. So I used to struggle severely with letting people go, and understanding seasons that people come into your life. God places people in your life for a reason, right? It's a season, a blessing, a lesson. But every time to me, it's a blessing because you're going to learn the lesson. But I had a tendency of like, oh no, let me just hold on. Even if I can't hold on in the capacity that we were before, I still want to hold on. Because I know what it feels like to be given up on. So I don't like to give up on people. And that's what it feels like, which sometimes has me creating or honoring horrible boundaries.
I was going to ask, how does that play a part into boundaries?
It didn't. Initially, it didn't. I had to have someone tell me. I was in a relationship with someone who told me I had horrible boundaries. And I didn't know, like, you know how they say giving a lot of people
Hold on, Ju.
accessibility to you.
The AC.
Oh.
I forgot to turn it off.
I told you to turn it off.
You told me to turn it off.
You didn't listen to me.
I didn't.
Are you turning it off from your phone right now?
Uh-huh.
Come on, technology. Where in the
feel
world?
Me?
This is crazy. This is crazy.
Yeah. Sometimes technology freaks me out, though.
Yeah, but it shows you the power. I still see it as the power of God, right? The power of a mind. Somebody created that.
The ability
like
to turn off your
that.
AC system
from your
phone.
You can look at your cameras. You can even lock doors now from your phone.
Literally.
It's insane in the membrane.
No, but you're talking about accessibility.
Yes. Just too many people having accessibility to you is poor spiritual hygiene. And I didn't understand. I didn't know that. Not even that I didn't understand it. I didn't know it. Because I just wanted to love all people. And I thought that meant like hugging everyone, being there for everyone. Like, and that is not it. So I had to learn boundaries and what that meant for me and what that needed to look like, especially like as a empath, as a healer, as, you know, as a very sensitive person. I had to learn how to establish some appropriate boundaries. So shout out to Trey.
We talked about accessibility and we talked about boundaries, but I've heard you say something called lessons of love. Like, what that mean, Ju?
Lessons of love. I guess the latest, greatest, best example that most people can relate to would be relationships, right? Sometimes they end. Sometimes they end.
Right.
And people always look at that as a bad thing. But I personally look at it as a lesson of love, right? Because God is in everything, right? And God is love.
Right.
And sometimes God needs you to learn certain lessons, right? For you to understand him, to understand love. So it's like lessons of love is what I call it. Because I believe that's what it is. Like,
I love it.
You know, and sometimes it hurt. Love isn't always like, ooh, this feels good. You know, God is peaceful, but he's also wrathful, right? Especially when our attention is needed and there's a shift that needs to happen in us. You get the lessons of love. And oftentimes that's going to come from who's closest to you, because those are the only people that we really listen to, you know, especially for a person like me when I've built up
I like that,
the walls to protect my peace, right? It's not a lot of people that I have close to me, right? So my lessons of love have come, especially in this season, they've come from the people who were closest to me.
When do the lessons of love end? Like, are you constantly, because like it sucks to think that you're constantly being hurt, you know, like over and over again by the people closest to you just for a lesson to be proved. So do you believe that the lessons of love stop? Like, do you believe or is like, how do you, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Like, doesn't it suck to think that we keep getting hurt?
I don't think of it, when I think of lessons of love, I don't think of it as just hurt. Right? Okay. Because in my lessons of love, I've experienced beautiful things, not just hurt. You know, I've learned how I desire to be treated. I've learned, you know, some of the most beautiful places. I've experienced some of the most beautiful foods. So like all of those things are lessons of love. I think that they continue. They just, I think as we get closer to, you know, our core, to God, that we develop better tools to understand them.
That makes sense.
So now I know everything's a lesson, right? If we're all made in God's image and we're all reflections of each other, then every interaction that I have, I'm interacting with God. So like everything is a lesson from him.
Right.
You know, whether it's a beautiful one or a child, I need to get your attention one.
Right.
It's still out of love that I'm learning this lesson. And I think the hurt comes in when we are disobedient, you know, when ego and all of that stuff comes in. Yeah. And we try to combat whatever the lesson is versus surrendering to it.
Because I've been in situations. Took me a while to come to that. But no, it's facts though. Because I've been in positions to where like I've ignored things, or I would hate to say I was gullible, but I mean, yeah, I was gullible. Like some people would not even recognize me now because of the growth that I've made. Like I used to be in a spot where I was extremely gullible. It's that part. Like for real though. And it's like I ignored certain things until it got to the point where it's just like, oh nah, bro. Like you do learn, and it's louder than you would want sometimes, but the lesson definitely does come through. Yeah. Like for real.
We got the hurt so good and we got the hurt so bad.
Exactly.
I personally experience the hurt so bad when I want things my way. You know, when I'm surrendering it to hurt so good, I understand why the hurt is here. You know, because pain pushes us to purpose. Pastor Keon, you know Pastor Keon Henderson?
See, I keep hearing about him.
Yeah, you have got to check him out. I keep telling you.
I know. Wow.
But yeah, he has this sermon that says hurt heals, which helped me to understand, that pain. And then, like I said, it was this prophet that I spoke to on Sunday, and he was preaching at the Life Church, and he said that pain pushes us to purpose, because that's it. When we are in a desolate state, when we are at our weakest, like you said, at our lowest moment. But I've also now, I can see God in my highest moments too. But at one point it was only at my lowest moments is when I would pray, when I would get disciplined, when I would get into my studies, when I would really focus on myself. It was because I was hurting, because I was desperate,
Right.
So that pain has brought me here,
Right.
to my purpose, because without it, life wasn't bad. So I was living a pretty good life in the world.
Right. Worldly.
Yeah.
Worldly life.
So now I'm here, and it's because of pain.
Blossoming.
It's because of pain.
She is
it's a whole lot of pain. It was a whole lot, because I was very, very stubborn.
So how did you forgive?
Forgiving honestly wasn't hard for me. Forgiveness has been, at one point I perceived my forgiveness as my weakness, because I forgive people so quickly, because going back to, I love people. Right. I want to be in relationship with people. I know how it feels for someone to give up on you. Right. So I never wanted to be that person. And I'm always trying to get back to the love. Right. So forgiveness has always been like, I feel like I've had unhealthy forgiveness. I was going to
say,
exists.
isn't it like, I guess, have you learned how to forgive, but to keep them at a distance? Or is it like forgiving and it's like, boom, you were back in the spot that you were with me before, like you still have the same access to me? Or have you gotten to a point where, or have you always been at a point where it's like, all right, I forgive you, but we ain't never gonna be the same that we used to be? Or like, did you completely forgive, like clean plate, like welcome back? Like,
I've done both. So I forgive you, right? Because the forgiveness is for me, right? In order for me to heal from certain situations, I had to forgive that person long before they came to me. Some people never even came to me, right?
That's the hard part.
That's the part, right? Oh. Forgiving people who aren't sorry, forgiving people who never, are able
there's some hard-headed MFers out here.
Yeah.
That don't want to forgive when they, should rightfully. They say hurtful things.
Seriously. No, for real.
No, for real though.
That's real. Like, that's super real. So I think that I've definitely had instances of forgiving and then just like, oh yeah, we're back. But then I experienced more hurt, which is when I learned 2 weeks ago. You said, how long have I learned it? It was just 2 weeks ago that I figured out, like, oh, you can forgive a person, you can still love a person, and you can still be loved to them when you see them. But you don't have to extend yourself. You don't have to welcome a person back into your energy or your space. Right. Because sometimes we lose our chance. And that's
fair.
That's just
life.
It, right? And that's God. Sometimes my mentor, one of my mentors, Pastor Jackson, she told me that sometimes we get in the way of God. God is trying to work on a person, and because, I forgive you, it's kind of like enabling. Right. It's enabling, because then I welcome you back in, and you never learn. I'm not the type of person where you have to even explain to me all of your faults, because I'm not God. You don't have to answer me. You gotta talk to God about that.
Bro, you're better than me. Because I need a full list. I need an explanation. I need, all right, so what we doing moving forward? Like, so why did you make that decision? And why was that decision bad? Oh, you're sorry? What are you sorry for? Yeah. Like, and I know I'm not God, but I do think it is a fault. So I
think it's a balance though, because I think people definitely need to be, in order to move forward, I think it's a certain level of accountability that people have to take for their actions. Yeah. In addition to that forgiveness. So I think it's a balance.
It's that word, balance. Like life.
To Ray Roberts, have you read that book? Balance.
You're lucky it's not in the room right now. Carmaya just bought it to me and she sent it here. So she got me Carmaya is one of my best friends.
I love her. Hey girl.
Yeah, really tight best friends. Carmaya, Candace, Janae, what's up? But no, Carmaya sent it to me, and I am on chapter 5. I'm on chapter 5. Yep. Powerful. He was talking about what really hit me was the perspective aspect of it, and how important your perspective is, and being in that deficit mindset can really hinder you. And so that's one of the biggest things I've gotten from this book, is how pretty much like looking at life from like, I gotta get it, like that's being in the deficit mindset.
It's a lack mindset.
It's a lack
and a survival mindset, but that's ancestral. That's generations and generations of us having to survive. And I think we as people, especially like as chosen melanated people, I think that we are finally at a point of understanding we no longer have to survive. Like we are getting back to understanding our birthright.
I like that.
Because I know for me, I didn't know what my birthright was until 2 years ago. You know, even though I lived a good life, my upbringing was great. And I felt entitled to my life versus understanding that this is your birthright. And it was a big difference for me.
To explain the difference to those who may not know what a birthright is necessarily.
So the birthright of abundance, right? That we don't have to struggle. We don't have to live in lack. We don't have to worry. We don't have to stress.
Right.
Because our birthright, like, God is our Father.
Right.
Like,
we good.
What?
Right.
Like, do you think that he would produce peasants? Like,
absolutely not.
That
I ain't no peasant.
That being our birthright of, you know, having joy,
right,
and having peace, and having balance. That being our birthright versus being entitled to things. An example I always tell people is like, some people look at me I bought my house when I was 21. And people look at that they looked at it as an accomplishment. I didn't.
How did you look at it as?
As something I had to do that was necessary of me to do.
Literally, I feel you. That's exactly how I felt. It was just like, oh, this is...
Yeah, my parents had a house.
Right.
My sisters had houses.
I need a house. I need,
this is what you do.
Right,
you buy a house.
Literally.
Right?
That's how I felt.
But because I was entitled to it, I didn't value it. So it's different, you know, for me, it's different when I understand that this right here is my God-given right to have these things, but not being attached to the value of things, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense.
So being like, you can still appreciate them, but not like hold on necessarily to the value of them. Can you explain that?
Yeah, like I value, let me gather my thoughts. I enjoyed having a home, but I didn't value it. I wanted peace, but I didn't value it, which led me to things like poor boundaries and, you know, all of that. Yeah, I feel like I answered that horribly.
It's
Maybe
okay.
I need to gather my thoughts more.
It's okay. We can revisit it. Or we don't have to. For those who got it, you got it. For those who didn't, we'll revisit it possibly.
You'll hear it again from somebody. You know, that's the other part I've learned is you don't never miss the lesson. It's coming.
And it might come louder and louder and louder and louder until it's like, this is what you need to do.
Yeah. Just know your birthright.
Period. Yeah. Point blank. But nah, I definitely, wow, I got it. Like, I got it. That's why I'm like, okay, wow, yeah. Because for me, it was like I worked so hard to, was like, okay, one of my goals was buying my own house straight out of college. Like, I was 22.
Yeah.
So I get it. Like, it's like, okay, this is just what needs to be done. Like, this is what I'm doing. I'm going to do it. But I found that when I got it, it was like, okay, like, what's next? Like, I didn't sit in
value it. That's what, you just brought clarity.
Okay.
You just brought forth.
Okay,
yes,
okay,
thank you, God. Okay, you see, sometimes it'll come.
It comes,
right,
the lesson
from
came
another
back
person,
just
right?
like that. Seconds later.
It's that part.
Yeah.
I am always, it's the gratitude. When I say valued it, I didn't have a heart of gratitude about it because I felt like it was just a thing on my list that I had to do.
I see.
Versus
you didn't cherish it.
like I didn't start really appreciating and thanking God for my home until I was about to lose it.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that can apply to more than just the house.
Yes.
When you're about to lose something, that's when you see its full value.
Relationship,
Wow.
Everything. Like when you lose things
Gems.
or when you're on the verge of losing things, that's when we develop appreciation.
Wow.
But that's why we have to, have that heart of gratitude. So that way, the moment we experience something,
that's when we appreciate it
in the present.
Wow.
I'm done.
I think that probably was my favorite part of our conversation so far.
Yes,
that was, wow.
Yeah.
This is my friend, guys.
Destiny,
I'm
stop. I didn't even say anything.
But you did. Like, when you're on the, like, and people, I know you guys have probably heard it before, but, like, you don't know what you have until it's gone. But, like, seriously, when you're about to lose something, that's when you hold on to it the tightest. And it sucks that sometimes it has to be that way, even with relationships, like you were saying. Like, that's crazy. It makes sense. Friendships, romantic relationship, household.
Everything.
Everything.
Keys. Your keys. Your keys.
Your AC.
Come on.
When you don't have AC in the middle of the summer.
Yeah.
Or when the lights go out.
Come on.
Electricity.
Come on. Your dryer. My dryer's out right now.
I lost my license.
Yeah. See? It's those things,
right?
Up
things,
yeah, girl. I know I quote like a lot of sermons, but I listen to a lot of them. But TD Jakes says that like we have to recognize what we have more than what we want. Because like, when is the last time you thank God for having 10 toes?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like our feet carry us. And this is the movement coach in me. This is the body in the recovery in me. The body worker was like, dang, our feet carry us through every single day.
Literally.
The entire weight of our body is on our feet.
Wow.
Like our ankles. Like, it's
those
small
that's
things
crazy.
that we have to, remember to be grateful for.
Wow.
Because, if you count your blessings, you'll realize, oh, yeah, you hella blessed.
Facts.
I'm hella blessed. Like, I got 10 toes. It's people who don't have feet. Right? It's people who have to lose their diabetes. They have to lose these things to appreciate them. It's just like death. Right. You have to lose people before you appreciate life. Or before you decide to say, hey, I love you. Hey, I miss you. Hey, I care about you. Hey, I want to come by your house. Hey, let's spend time together. Hey, let's talk about this argument that we had. Right. Hey, let's talk about the breakdown. Like,
so what tips do you have, I guess, for that temporary kind of thing? I think that's normalized in society now. Like, somebody dies, people go to Instagram like, oh, we need to stop the violence. We need to get together. We need to mend stuff, give people their flowers while they're here. And it's cool. But then people kind of forget about it. Yeah. Or it's like, then they're making a post trashing somebody or talking about somebody. Right. And it's like, okay, what happened to that love or appreciation for life? And I'm not saying like, I'm working on myself too. I don't be trashing people on the internet. But I'm just saying, it's something I notice is like, and even for me, it's like, oh man, like, wow, we do need to appreciate life. Yeah. But then it kind of like trickles off and then something has to happen. Somebody has to pass away. How do you keep that like appreciation?
It's a balance.
Yeah.
Because we're humans, right? Like, we're carnal, fleshly. So I think that it's a balance. But I think the biggest part is like, just for me, it's taking a personal action, like a declaration to take action. Saying it, reminding myself, and then doing it. Like, just take action. Right. Love people now. Right. Like, talk, communicate,
Wow.
That's just...
I love you, man.
That's it. I love you. And that's the other part. Telling people that you love them now. Like, we can hate a person that we've never, especially women. Ooh, this is a good one. Ladies. No, for real. And by the way, shameless plug, July 15th, I have the Red Light Special, which is sensual yoga and movement. I'm not even going to say yoga. It's sensual movement and tension release, like sacral chakra tension release for women.
Wow.
Women empowerment for us to come together just as sisters to understand one another while understanding ourselves. Because I think that especially with women, like people in general, but definitely with women, we can hate a woman and never have talked to her, or have something ill to say about a woman that you've never had a conversation with.
Right.
And that is ill. Like,
where do you think that's rooted in? I mean, jealousy possibly, but like,
yeah, our own esteem. You know, people treat you the way, you know, how they feel. Right. How a person treats you is a reflection of how they feel on the inside. So I think that is that, but that's why I'm now creating, well, I've been creating these spaces where women can see a more accurate reflection, because your sisters are looking at you and telling you, you know, what they see. And we're looking in the mirror more and talking to ourselves and saying what we see and affirming for ourselves and things like that, and really healing, dealing with the trauma, dealing with, oh, you know what, I do struggle with relationships with people or women or men, and really addressing that.
What was the event called that you put on? Y'all, I went to one of G's events. She had notebooks for us. It was like yoga mats, like we were really like in the zone. What was the title of that again?
So yeah, that was it was sensual yoga and movement, but that was self-love, women empowerment, and yoga.
You guys have got to go to one of her events. If you guys see her have an event, please show up, because that was so beautiful. In that moment, I saw exactly what you were talking about. It wasn't like an envious spirit or anything. It was like pure like appreciation, or it was like no like jealous spirit was really in there. Like, I didn't get jealous vibes from anybody. It was just like, oh, go ahead, sis.
Yeah,
you look good, sis.
Love.
Go ahead. Yeah, like that's beautiful.
Yeah. So this event is the evolution of that. This actually came to me in a dream. The red light special. I love TLC. Shout out to y'all. You know that. Give me the red light. Yeah, that jump. We're definitely gonna play that. That's on the playlist. But it came to me like as I was doing my own sacral chakra energy work. And for anybody who does not know, you know, the sacral chakra is here in our womb, right at our pelvic. So that's where we hold a lot of our fear, our anxiety, our childhood traumas are held there. Things like abortions, miscarriage, me being a person who has experienced both. A lot of that energy is stored there. So this event is to release that. When I had the event that you came to 3 years ago, I had no clue.
That was 3 years ago?
3 years ago, girl. I just found the videos because I have to.
I've known you for a very long time. I love you. I said that like 3 times already, but no, I've known you for a while, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
But this is the evolution of that. Sacral chakra energy release red light special. You know?
I don't know if the date that this will air, but can you tell us the location of it just in case?
Yeah, it's at the Well Collective, downtown, 13 South 13th Street. And I'm only doing 13 tickets. Okay. Because I want for this to be very intimate, very you know, centered and focused.
It can be powerful with a lot of people, but I feel what you're saying. Yeah, there's power in small numbers sometimes.
That's dollars.
Yeah. I just love our conversation. Okay, so one of the things that I really, really envy about you is your...
Stop it.
No.
Whatever it is, stop.
No, for real. You're like disciplined with your schedules in the morning when you were on it.
Okay.
That gotta be maybe not today or yesterday, right? But before you were really like intentional with your schedule. Like y'all, I remember I was over your house one time and we was outside drinking tea. I don't even like tea like that, but y'all, my friend's starting to get me on the tea. Shout out to Love THC. He got me drinking tea. I was at Juice House drinking tea. I'm like, what is happening? But no, we were outside drinking tea, and you were like, yeah, you know, my bedtime's pretty much at 10, or I gotta go in the house. And you won't plan. She's like, yeah, like
I love
she
y'all.
She looked at the time.
I love y'all, but
she's like, yeah, I'm about to go inside. Like, I was like, yeah, cool. We got 5 minutes left. Like, I'm trying to like brush it off. Like, oh crap, I gotta go home now. But like, I was like, wow, like that's important. It's important to have time for yourself and those boundaries. Yeah. But then is the other side. You used to wake up early in the morning and take a bath.
Yes.
You would go walking.
We still do that.
So tell me about. Yes,
we still take baths.
No, but it was like a morning like relaxation bath.
Yeah.
Like tell.
You are hilarious, girl. I am so in love with this.
So tell us about your schedule. Tell us about what got you into being more intentional. Tell us about the benefits of having a structured morning, a structured day.
Yes. So, I mean, I'll start. So I went through this program. I always have had like kind of sort of a schedule. Like Destiny said, some days I'm on, some days I am not. But Sacred Woman, Queen of Fua, that program, which is a divine feminine healing program that really teaches you not only it teaches you how to understand yourself, right? How to heal yourself, how to take care of your body in the most natural and holistic way. And that book taught me the power of rising at 4 a.m., right? Those are very quiet hours. And, you know, the veil is thin. God is open and available because most people are either just getting in their house or most people are dead asleep.
Right.
Trying to get those last hours of sleep. So it's a quiet time. And I'm a mom, like I said, so DJ still sleep. But yeah, I rise at 4.
4 o'clock.
4 a.m. Yes. I do my prayer. And then, well, first I cleanse myself. So I get in the shower and just rinse off just so I can like present myself, you know, with clean energy. Then I pray. 4:44, I get in the bathtub. And then I get in the bath for like an hour. I've actually added in getting in a sauna for 60 minutes. So I get in my sauna.
You have a sauna?
They have portable saunas. In case y'all did not know, they have portable saunas and they're not expensive. I think I paid like, well, I didn't pay for it. Shout out to you. But I think it was like maybe $90, $120 something. It wasn't like crazy expensive though, for the benefits. And then I stretch. I write in my journal. And then I don't talk to anybody until after 8 o'clock. So my phone is on Do Not Disturb from 9 p.m. to 8 a.m. Because I usually go to bed somewhere around 10ish, but the hour before I go to bed, I shut down like electronics and things like that, just so that I can really settle myself.
Wow.
But yeah, then I go about my day. After 8, but I usually wake DJ up at 7, you know, and I just try to be really intentional, you know, put my playlist on, read, study, pray, bathe.
Do you guys see like what? Like, yeah, I just do that. I just wake up at 4 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah, because it's necessary, right? Like,
how did you get like? I mean, I know like discipline. That's what I'm telling you. You have like some extreme discipline, you.
Thank you.
4 a.m. You have it.
I needed to hear that because I'm super hard on myself, and I feel like I am not disciplined enough, honestly.
Well, you know how much discipline that takes to wake up at 4 a.m. and then to stick to a schedule, and then to. If I woke up at 4 a.m. and tried to meditate, I would fall asleep on the floor. Like. That takes extreme discipline.
I'm learning to appreciate those things because, again, some things I just think is expected of me. Like, I'm supposed to get up at 4. So I don't really look at it as like, oh, as an accomplishment. But now I'm getting to that space as I've had days of imbalance of like, oh, shoot. Like, I woke up at 6. I'm crying if I woke up. If I wake up at 6 or 7 o'clock in the rising, I'm like, oh, gosh. God, I'm completely out. But I've learned balance. And that's the only time I have 3 hours to 3 guaranteed hours to myself every day.
See, but that's beautiful. I'm that's why I said I'm envious of that because I need to set aside like more time, and I'm learning the importance, especially as a mom.
Yeah,
like I need time to myself.
Moms, yes, because I definitely suffered from post-traumatic stress after pregnancy for 2 years because I had no life of my own. I had no time. Yeah, that's why I always tell y'all is like new and young moms, like, yo, take your time to yourself. If you need me to keep your kid, I got you. Like, if whatever you need, let me know to be that support because I know how
draining
far I got just being obsessed with my son, and it's not good to be obsessed with anything. TD Jakes said that, like, you know, wherever you put your energy is where it's going to grow. Wherever you fully commit to, it's going to grow. And I fully committed to breastfeeding my child and planning all of his food and making all of his baby food and all of that stuff. And then forgot that I had a friend. Like, I had friends to hang out, hang
like,
on my
you
friends.
gotta take care of yourself too. 2 years too?
Yeah.
Dang.
Like,
I'm doing a mommy month next month. You should be up there.
Of course,
so
you are.
I haven't talked about like my journey or postpartum or anything with motherhood. So next month, I'm diving into that, and I want to have a virtual kind of panel. So I really hope you can be up there.
I will. I'm so honored. I'm honored to be here.
Dude,
so of course,
I'm honored that you're here right now. But no, yeah, that would be dope. I definitely want to hear your input on that. Like, and Nene.
I was about to say, you got to get Nene.
Oh,
you know, Black Girl Does Mamahood. You got to.
Y'all follow her on Instagram. She's amazing.
Yeah.
I talked to her a little bit about it, and so I want to have her on during next month too. So we're going to be talking about it, and I'm hoping she had mentioned something about starting a podcast, a motherhood podcast, because
we need for her to do that. I am so excited when this gets aired. And Shaniqua Love,
she calling out your name. Boop, boop,
knows
boop, boop. Nah,
that
for real,
it is
though.
time. We need that though.
We
need that. We
it's
need
time.
That.
Like for real.
Right?
For real. Like for real.
Seriously. And
seriously. Well, I just said, am I copying you? Am I echoing you?
No. It's reflections.
It's literally. I'm like, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Oh crap.
She just needed to hear it twice,
2 times. But no, for real. Like I'm excited to have her on, and I really, like I said, I hope you can join us too.
Yeah.
I really
got you, girl.
Thank you. So tell the people, what can they expect from Jew coming up? What does Jew got cooking? What Jew got cooking? What?
No, I love to cook.
What does Jew got cooking?
Okay, cooking. Yes.
What does you got cooking? What does you got cooking?
Honey. Okay. So definitely, like, I am all over this city, the world, really. Well, not the world, but definitely Maryland, North Carolina.
Claim it.
Yeah, I'm all over this world.
Come on now.
Touching bodies, realigning. Body, minds, and spirits. Enrichment. You can catch me at the Fountain of Youth every single Wednesday doing stretch sessions. You can catch me at Transformation Tuesdays at Forest Hill on Tuesdays, and then after that, you can catch me to Open All That Soul for the stretch sessions. Yeah, on Saturdays you can catch me at the Well Collective, and very soon, the St. Luke Legacy Center. And of course, I have some events coming up. We got a podcast that's coming. I'm excited for that.
I'm excited for that.
No,
dude.
seriously. I'm excited.
I said that like 4 times. It's no big deal.
Oh man, and that's crazy. I hadn't even told anybody that. Like, this is exclusive news.
Bomb drops exclusive.
Podcast coming soon. Podcast coming soon.
Jew.
Yeah, because that's where I am. I'm being told to speak.
As you should. You have like healing words, and I think I had mentioned that the last episode. I just told when we were talking to Khalil, just like
Khalil Houston,
the words,
the Khalil Houston. What?
Like the words that you guys
brother?
Speak.
Yeah, what up, brother?
No, you said it right. What up, nigga? The words. I just thought about his poem.
Oh yeah, nigga.
Yeah.
What's up, my nigga?
You're right. Y'all gotta check it out, bro. Y'all gotta check it out. But the words that you speak really are healing. Like, and a lot of people have that power. So don't sleep on your power.
All life and death and the power of the tongue.
Period. So yeah, you definitely you got words to say
and the power of the tongue.
You got words to say. I'm telling you, bro. So where can they find you at? If they want to hit you up, if they want to see where the events are going to be, where the events are going to be, where can they find you?
Well, first and foremost, you can go to www.JewsOasisWellness.com.
Period, girl.
Because I finally did my website and I did it myself. So if you have any feedback, please let me know. It's been up and live for 2.5 months now.
I'm so proud of you.
Yeah, I never thought. But yeah, there or on Instagram at Jews JUS Wellness WELLNES Juice Oasis Wellness. I'm sorry, Juice Oasis Wellness. That's at JUJUOASIS Wellness. WELLNESS. Yeah, and you can catch me out here in these streets.
Feel me? Y'all heard, bro? I'm telling you, she's really out here in the community. Like, that's important because some people would be like, "Yeah, I'm in the community." Jew is in the community. Like, all those places you just listed, that's amazing. Oh, before we wrap it up, shout out your skirt.
Oh, shout out to Digging Her Roots. She personally handmade this skirt for me for my 26th birthday. So this is actually a 6-year-old skirt.
What?
But I've probably only worn it like 4 times.
This skirt, like, I don't know if y'all can see the beauty completely through the phone because I'm working on my camera quality. And give us her Instagram name or her name again.
Instagram is digging DIGGIN _ her HER _ roots ROOTS.
Yes. And I also want to shout out my Torched Candle. It's a Black owned candle company. We shouted them out last time, but I just want to shout them out again because this joint is a blazing.
Yeah. It's very calming.
It is.
It's lavender too.
Yes.
Yeah, I like
you
it.
peeped.
I love candles. I'm definitely a candle girl.
Before we head out, are there any tips you would just want to say to the people? If not, it's cool. Or any final words or any whatever you feel God is leading you to say or whatever is on your spirit. Just it could be something real simple, or you could be like, nah, bro.
I'm gonna say take action, like on love, like not on purpose, but on love.
Wow. I receive.
You know, and that just being on God, whether that's you following your dreams, whether that's you mending that relationship. And I don't mean just like partners, like parents and siblings, and you know, just take action on love because we need more of that out here. And that's what's going to heal this world. We got a lot of calamity, a lot of madness, right? It's a spiritual war out here.
Right.
And we can armor up with love because that's something that can't be defeated, right? Love and praise.
Right.
So keep praising each other, you know, and keep loving on yourselves and take action on your dreams. Yeah. Wow. And if you get a vision, go for it. Like, no matter how crazy it is, go for it. And just know that the vision was given to you. It was given to you and no one else. So even if you tell people, they may think that you're crazy, but the vision was given to you because you have to execute it. So, and
you have the power to execute it.
Because it wouldn't have been given to you if you didn't have the power. Okay. And if you need a stretch session, you know, go to www.juiceoasiswellness.com and come get your body stretched. Come literally the session of your lifetime.
And y'all see the knowledge she's dropping too and the vibes that she is bringing forth. Like, what? You can get a stretch session and you can just
therapy too.
Right, therapy. Like, bro, honestly, like, seriously. Like oh my gosh. And her stretches are amazing. Even if you are expecting, if you are pregnant and you want to stretch, please hit her up. I got a stretch when I was pregnant. I got 2 or 3 of them. Yeah. 2 or 3. But it felt amazing. Like, Zoe was thumping around in my belly, kicking everything. But I was able to get a stretch from Jew and, like, amazing. My back was so tight when I was pregnant and you hooked me up. So if you're pregnant, don't be afraid to hit her up. I'm telling you, it really made a difference. You know that lower back pain? She'll get you right. Yeah. But all right, Jew, thank you so much for coming through.
Thank you for having me. This was love. Right? I'm proud of you. Before I do go, I want to say Dollars. I'm really proud of you. Like, this right here was an honor to be here. Like, you always inspire me with your ambitions.
Wow.
And tenacity, I think, is the word that I'm looking for as well. But you are, like, really remarkable. And you really inspire me. And I appreciate you just being who you are. because you really are. No, for real. You're a special being. Like, you're a beautiful spirit.
Thank you.
And I'm really, really grateful that like God aligned our paths to cross. I don't even remember when they crossed or how we met.
Yeah.
But I'm really grateful for you and the spaces that you create for us.
Thank you.
Shout out to Dose of Poetry. It's the only platform I've ever performed one of my poems.
Bro,
on.
and I was so hyped when
only
you did.
one.
Oh my gosh. I'm cheesing hella hard. Thank you so
it's
much.
Love,
Jill.
for real. Like,
I received that.
It's love.
Thank you. That was beautiful. I can't stop.
It's you though. Hurt. What else could it be besides beautiful when it's you?
My cheeks hurt. I can't.
That's stop. Good. That's good. Just bring your cheeks down. You can do something.
Here she goes. Oh, she's got the stretch.
When you get up in the rising, this is something that you can do to just calm your face, calm your nerves, right? Massage your face, give it a break.
Thank you for your beautiful words, especially those words at the end. Those were really sweet. I might be biased, but no, Ju, thank you for coming through. Thank you for taking the time out of your day.
Thank you.
Thank you for this energy that
the best
brought.
part of my day.
Oh my,
for real. This has been a helliest day. This is a really hard day for me. For real. Really? Emotionally, one of the heaviest days I've ever experienced in my life.
Are you serious? And you came at my door with a ray of sunshine?
I told you that. This is a hard day, but
because
we gotta keep showing up. We gotta do this.
Thank you.
Take action. I love you.
I love you too, Ju. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to episode 10 of Listen and Flow with SB. I want to remind you guys that I'm going to drop a sample for my artist of the month, New JTG. Pew, 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 pew. In the house. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed this sample that I'm about to play for you. And I hope you have an amazing day, night, morning, whenever you are watching this. I pray that you receive this message. I love you guys, and peace out.
Love y'all. Peace. That was so dope, girl. What the heck?
Hussein with another form hover, man, so I can complain. I got a 4-leaf clover, show that we not the same. Have you ever seen your past through the focus? I can show you stars through the lens if you know this. Said that I'm a real one and I said, girl, I know this. For me, it's just a bonus, others is scoliosis. I'm about to cook up till I can't no more. I'm about to pull everything until it ain't no hope. I'm about to look into your pain with this endoscope. Nigga thought life was a game and got the okie doke. You feel me? I'm thinking nobody killed me. Look in my eyes, to me that you feel me. I see you looking surprised, blessing disguise.